Hello, hello, hello. So, with the 2025 year of World of Warships coming to an end, I thought it'd be a pretty good series to start with the top 5 most hated ships. And today we'll be going over the top 5 most hated destroyers in World of Warships. As in, either they're on your team or they're against you. When you see this in a match, you just flat out hate it. So this is going to be a Pacific order. We're going to be going with number 6 first, which would be the honorable mention. Then it'll be number 5 and so on and so forth. Those are started. So the first ship that's going to be on this list is going to be the Halford. And like, oh my God, man. Even though they did buff the Halford, right? They did buff this thing, made the guns a lot better, gave it an extra squadron. So we're going to hold 2, right? 90% of Halfords that I see just sit back with their planes the whole time. They don't do a dang thing. You see this thing on the enemy team, you're like, oh, it's not going to be that bad, right? It's not that bad. But then all of a sudden, the one on the enemy team is God tier, smoking up his cruiser, spotting with his planes, hitting perfect torps and just doing perfect runs, while yours is sitting at the back of the map, not doing anything. So this is the honorable mention being number 6. So yeah, oh God, I just hate the Halford. All right, so moving on to number 5 is going to be the start of this whole thing. It's going to be the Benham, the original fidget spinner of World of Warships. Okay, so before the time of submarines, there was the Benham. This thing has an insane amount of torpedoes. It has 16 of them, 10.5 kilometer range, and a 72-second reload, which can get faster by the build. And the whole time you're just doing fidget spinners over and over and over again, right? So when you see this thing on the enemy team and you're in a battleship or a cruiser, you're just praying this thing isn't on your flank, because it's already a small ship. So even if you do radar it, it's not easy to hit. And if you try pushing this thing, you're just going to be getting pelted with torpedo salvo after torpedo salvo. And there's only so much you can do with dodging 16 torpedoes every 72 seconds. And a lot of the time you're cycling through them. So you're getting about 8 torpedoes about every 38 seconds, because you're launching them off of one side, then you're going to launch them off the other, right? So every 38 seconds, you're getting about 8 torpedoes coming at you. It's just non-stop over and over and over and over again. I'm glad that they never introduced this thing back in the game and that it's only available from Santa containers, because if they did, oh my lord, dude, every torpedo enjoyer would be getting this thing, because it's absolute brute. And I don't know, that's why it's number 5 on this list. It was the original fidget spinner of WoWs before submarines became into existence. But yeah, this thing is absolutely ridiculous with those torpedoes. All right, moving on to number 4 is going to be the legendary Smaland. Now, a lot of you guys may not remember, but a few years ago when the original Smaland came in, it was available for 2 million free XP, right? So back then they had ships that were available for free XP. They didn't have the research bureau that there is now. They had the free XP system back then, where there are certain ships you can get for free XP, and they introduced this bad boy for 2 million free XP. And the other one they introduced too was the Hayate. No one gave a crap about the Hayate because you would get the Smaland. Okay, this thing is an absolute brute, and I'm going to explain why. You get an engine boost for 30% extra speed. This also affects the acceleration, makes you like speed up super quick and slow down super quick as too. So you can throttle juke as well as heal. You have a 7.5 kilometer radar, which is the second destroyer to get at the time, because the first one was the YY. And it is just absolutely insane. The guns on this thing have a 1.5 second reload. This thing, when it came out, it became the top competitive destroyer in World of Warships. Randoms, ranked, you name it, this thing was the top of its game. There was nothing that could compete with it at the time. Oh my lord, there were so many seasons that this destroyer just absolutely dominated the game in the competitive scene. And of course, you know, since they removed it, it wasn't seen in COTS because of that. Because back then, during the King of the Seas tourneys, ships that were removed or ones you couldn't just get directly, they weren't allowed in the tourney, so Smalands weren't really allowed during that time. Now, of course, in the current King of the Seas, Smalands are able to be used, because they did make it where ships that are no longer available can be used in the tourney. But when you saw this thing on the enemy team and you're in a destroyer, it's like a gulp moment. You know that you're going to be fighting for your life against this destroyer because its DPM is so high with the heal, the engine boost that it has in the radar. Essentially, if you spot it first, it's going to instantly radar and you're not going to be having a good time. And that's why a lot of people hate this thing seen on the enemy team. It's just a nightmare to fight as a destroyer. Now, for a cruiser or a battle, like as a cruiser, you can deal with it a little bit easier. It does have torpedoes that do hurt, and it does have nice anti-air as well, since it is European. But for a battleship, you also can get farmed really heavily by this thing too. Ugh. But yeah, cruisers can deal with it okay. Destroyers, it's kind of a nightmare to deal with. And for battleships, yeah, it's just a pain in the butt to deal with. So Smaland is going to be number 4. All right, moving on from number 4, it's going to be number 3. It's going to be the Shima. All right. Now, it's annoying to see this thing on your team, against you, all the above, right? Because we have the golden age of 17.9 Shimas. And if all you guys don't know what that means, that's pretty much a Shima that doesn't take survivability expert. It doesn't run the HP flag. It's pretty much essentially a noob Shima. And what happens to these noob Shimas? They die instantly, like legit instantly. So you have a Shima that's, your destroyer that's spotting for you or supposed to spot it for you, and he dies within the first 2 minutes of the match. And it's really, really annoying because then your entire flank is absolutely worthless because you don't have any spotting anymore while they do. So you have to kite the whole entire match because you don't got no more spotting. So it's super annoying in that factor. And then normally you get the really bad Shima, but then on the enemy team, you get the absolute god tier Shima, like the ones that are running the perfect torpedo, like perfect build, just god tier, smoking up his allies, perfectly doing his torps, sinking them like every 20 or so seconds, so that as soon as you DCP, because after he hits your torpedoes and you flood and he DCPs, as soon as your DCP is done, the next set comes in and permafloods you and kills you. And the Shima is incredibly fast too. A lot of people don't realize the Shima is one of the fastest torpedo boats in the game. It was the original scouting destroyer, and its concealment is incredibly strong. One of the best tier 10 concealments in the game for destroyers. And these torpedoes, you can pick from 3 different ones. A lot of people pick the 12s. I don't have the build here because I reset the Shima for Research Bureau, but that's why. But it would normally be 12s people would pick, or you can run 20 kilometers. So you can run 8 kilometers, you can run 12s, you can run 20s. It comes down to your preference, right? And these torpedoes hurt. They don't sludge. They hurt. Japanese torpedoes are the hardest English torpedoes in the game, except, like the St. Vincent with those single launch nuclear torpedoes, right? But if you have this thing on the enemy team and you're a battleship, even if you have hydro or you're a cruiser, you're just going to be suffering. It's not going to be a good time. So that's why Shima is going to be number 3 on this list. Okay. All right, so moving on from the Shima. Also, let me guys know what your top 5 most destroyers are in the game for 2025. Let me know what you guys think of this list as well. Make sure to write that in the comments. So, moving on to number 2. Number 2 is going to be a classic. It's going to be a classic. Some of you guys may not know about this one, but it's going to be the Kamikaze. Some of you guys may know about this ship, but let me just do some explaining about the Kamikaze. Kamikaze is one of the oldest premiums in World of Warships. It's extremely old. But for tier 5, it has a very, very strong concealment of 5.4 kilometers when you build into it, which, again, you can't build into concealment in the equipment slot because it's a tier 5, right? So it's an incredibly strong concealment destroyer for tier 5. It's got an engine boost. It's got a heal. Sorry. Engine boost and a smoke. Apologies. But again, the guns aren't very strong. It has 4 guns. 10-second reload. Its strength is not the guns. It is the torpedoes. You get 2 sets of torpedoes of 3, as you can see there. And they have a reload of 47 seconds, by the way. And these torpedoes have a 7-kilometer range. Now you're like, oh, well, that's not the best. That's not that bad. 7 kilometers is a really short range. Yeah, but you gotta think about the ships that it's dealing with at tier 5. very slow battleships, right? And all the other destroyers at this tier have really bad concealment compared to this thing. So this thing is going to outspot everything. It's going to be able to nuke all the battleships with that incredibly fast reload. So even if it has a short torpedo range, it's going to be able to nuke all the battleships, going to be able to torpedo everything. It's just going to be an absolute menace. And there are people that still play this to this day that have pretty much all of their battles in this ship just because of how much of a menace it is at that tier. If you play tier 5, tier 6, tier 7, you know what I'm talking about, because you'll see this thing running around and you'll have the Kamikaze mains, and they are just absolute menaces to the game. They pretty much are like the seal clubbers of the game nowadays, where anyone that's coming up for the first time, they're not going to really know what this thing is. It's a really ancient ship that you can't get anywhere except for from Santa containers. It's really, really rare to see. So 90% of the new players are legit, all of them are going to have no idea what this thing is. It's like a ghost story, like the stories of old. But this thing is still a menace, an incredibly strong torpedo boat, an absolute menace. I'm glad they removed it from the game where you can't just get it anymore, because if it were, it would be even more of a menace. So I'm glad that they did that. All right, so before I pick the number one, I want you guys to think about what is the number one most hated destroyer right now in World of Warships. I'm going to give you guys a thought. All right, pause the video, write in the comments what you think it is, and then after, write if you're right. So like edit it to where you're right or not. All right, so the number one most hated destroyer in World of Warships, it's gonna be the damn Jager. Okay, man, like where is it? Where's this little stinker at? Tier 9 destroyer. Yeah, I hate, like, God, man, this little animal, bro. Like, Jesus Christ, man, I can't believe they added this thing to the game, bro. Like, okay, when it first came out, we were like, oh, nah, this thing ain't that bad. You know, it's not that bad, right? But no, why did these mother truckers make this thing have such a fast reload for its torpedoes? It has 12 of them, by the way, and they're 12-kilometer range. And these things go as fast as a stinking plane, dude. 90 knots? Unbuilt, by the way. Unbuilt. You can make them go even faster. Like, Jesus Christ, what were they thinking adding this thing? And by the way, this is a tier 4 destroyer hull at tier 9. Do you know how hard it is to hit this thing? Like, bro, it's trying to hit it's like trying to hit that little boat as like a battleship or a cruiser. It is so annoying to fight this thing. Even as another destroyer, anyone here that actively plays a gunboat destroyer, you know what I'm talking about. It's so hard to hit because it's so low in the water that most of your shells are just going to go above it or below it, and you're just not going to hit it, especially when it's like aft away where it's running away. It's going to be even hard to hit this thing. And it has a 5.4 kilometer concealment, by the way, one of the strongest concealments at tier 9. It is very maneuverable, so it is fast. Its only real weakness is anti-air. So if you see a CV in the match, this thing is legit, your CV is just going to hover this thing because of how many times that man was probably got bullied by Jaegers so many times that he started playing aircraft carriers just to bully this one ship. If I ever play a carrier, which I really don't, if I do, I will sit on top of this ship the entire match just to make sure it dies. I'm that petty. I hate this ship so much. It is, ugh, it's one of the most broken tier 9 destroyers in the game just because of how low it is in the water, the incredibly fast reload, and to top it all off, if you have Swirsky on it, the more torpedoes you hit, the faster the torpedoes go. Sorry, the faster the reload is. So every 8 torpedoes you hit, you get a 5% bonus to your reload. So you can keep doing that over and over and over and over again until essentially you just torpedoed out the entire enemy team, right? And this build is not meant for this build is meant for the Blizz 52. It's not meant for this ship, by the way. So before you guys say anything, that I was just showing you guys the commander skill itself. But no, this ship is an absolute menace. It's a menace in range. It's a menace in randoms. You can play it in asymmetrical battles if you want, but overall, this is the most hated ship, my most hated tier my most hated destroyer of this year, right? Because it's coming to the end of 2025, and I wanted to do a tier list of the most hated ships by the ship classification, right? So I'm doing destroyers, cruisers, and battleships. CVs and subs we all hate equally, so I wasn't going to do a tier list on those, but today I just wanted to do the one on the destroyers since it is coming to the end of the year. So let me see here. So the Jager you can get for coal currently. Kamikaze that I listed, you can only get that from Santa containers. Shima is a tech tree. Smaland you can only get from Santa containers, and then Benham you can only get from Santa containers. So only 2 of the ships you can get currently. Oh, sorry, Halford. Halford you can get for coal or doubloons. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, that's the video for the day. Let me know what you guys think of the video. Appreciate you guys all watching. Also, make sure if you haven't already, check out my YouTube membership that is partnered with World of Warships. So for the 99-cent Wiles Commander membership, you're able to get 1 super container mission a month. So for at the start of every month, you'll get a mission as long as you're subscribed to that 99-cent membership. So you get a super container mission once a month, and I get 99 cents. So you support me and you support yourselves. So if you want to do that, I greatly appreciate it. But thank you guys all for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuces.